The United States has been the most powerful nation ever since 1943. While its power peaked in the 1990s, who exactly is behind the surge of power and who are the men who built America? Let's find out. Now, you may have watched the crazy history documentary The Men Who Built America. In this documentary, we got to know Cornelius Vanderbilt, William Jennings, Andrew Carnegie, Thomas Edison, James Fisk, Henry Ford, J.P. Morgan, Nikola Tesla, and the ever-infamous John D. Rockefeller and the Rothschilds. With all these people contributing to the growth of America, how are they tied with Elon Musk and the famous entrepreneurs who run the world today? And what is the dark history behind the men who built America? Let's focus on Elon, Rockefeller, J.P. Morgan, and Rothschild. While Elon, namely Elon Reeve Musk, that was born in June 28, 1971, has become the most renowned technological giant and the founder and CEO of SpaceX and Tesla, now Twitter as well, with his vast advancement with Neuralink and OpenAI, Musk, growing as a kid in South Africa, pretty hard to imagine, he decided to teach himself how to code and sold his first game blaster for about $500. Now I know what you're thinking, that kid growing up in South Africa, it's kinda hard to understand and learn code, better yet build your own game and sell it for $500. Now how was Musk tied with Rothschild and Rockefeller exactly? As every one of you may know, previous supposed to be heir of the Rockefellers, Michael Clark Rockefeller, suddenly vanished and disappeared November 19, 1961 at the age of 23. Despite the wholesome and good intentions that Michael Rockefeller had for this trip, a journey to the heart of New Guinea's Asmat tribal homeland shed new light on the heir's mysterious disappearance. Apparently, according to the custom, the specific tribe that Michael partook in prefer to kill someone they know because they are making that person a part of themselves. They also adopt his name as they eat and consume his very essence, hoping to gain the power Michael held. They were just in the times that cannibalism was pretty evident, and this is what they had done to survive. An article came out soon after that some of the Asmats have traveled and took shelter to South Africa as the head of the Rockefellers did a quest in search for his son. Now, I imagine they got pretty scared. Now, they may have fled for their lives. It's understandable, I would have done the same if the Rockefellers were at my behind. But the mysterious disappearance of Michael Rockefeller in the year of 1961 supposedly gave birth to Elon Musk 10 years after. Now, in an underdeveloped country, how did such a young man get the power to study code by himself and become the second richest person in the world now? I think it's safe to assume that the tribal customs, in a sense, had worked. Now, how did the others tie down to successful entrepreneurs today? And could the top 1% of the people in the world actually be tied down with the Illuminati? While Elon Musk can be considered as a guy who is looking out for the future of mankind and humanity, with his inventions and ideals, the dark side of Elon Musk is known for him to have actually stolen the company Tesla from Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning, the actual founders. Basically what happened is that years before Elon even heard of Tesla, Martin and Mark had been developing an electric vehicle that was meant to have high performance and be aesthetically designed. This vehicle eventually became the Roadster, and the founders needed some funding. However, they went to Elon, who was willing to give them a few million, but Elon basically didn't do anything relating to the development of the car. Soon after, the company started to become well known and began getting a lot of positive press coverage, but then Elon didn't actually do anything. The founders never mentioned him in any interviews, which pissed off Elon and led to Elon whining about it and threatened Martin. And after this, Elon would occasionally come visit the people designing the car and make a few cosmetic changes that would set the company behind. He basically sabotaged the people who came to him to ask for help because he was not mentioned or over glorified. So once the company started becoming bigger, Martin wanted to stick to more of the engineering side and brought up the idea of hiring a new CEO. After a lot of shenanigans, Elon eventually became CEO through a series of decisions by the board members behind Martin's back. So Martin was actually unaware of this. When Elon became CEO, he decided to kick Martin out of the company and stole Tesla for himself. Elon seems to be given too much credit when it comes to Tesla, but do we actually know what happened behind the scenes? Many people even think of him as the founder of the company when it was hardly his idea at all. He's listed as the co-founder of the company, but that is simply not true, and his companies have the worst working conditions, to put it lightly. Now, working under the most rich or the second richest person in the world, you may have thought differently. Like, oh, I might get a good 401k and a good HMO, but reality seems to be different from Elon Musk. When it comes to places to work, working for Elon has got to be one of the worst experiences. In his company, it is standard to work 80 plus hours a week for less pay than what you'd expect in a similar position. Safety is of no concern to Elon, as he decided that he didn't like yellow safety lines in his factory that led to injuries. Now, as the second richest man in the world, I would imagine if I didn't like yellow, I could compromise. But this decision and rash behavior has led to many injuries. Even when injured, the injuries mostly go unreported so that the company appears safer and doesn't get investigated. Elon's also against the idea of a union being formed to protect the workers. Basically, Elon will do anything to reduce prices to gain some sort of competitive advantage. He ignores many of the safety and quality checks that most engineering companies do in order to get things done faster. Ever wonder why SpaceX is so cheap compared to other launches? I'll give you a hint. It's not because of reusable rockets. Now, with Elon's promises of a better future, longevity, yada yada, you would think that the man has brilliant ideas. But actually, a lot of this is dumb ideas. First, the Hyperloop. From what so many have said about the Hyperloop, it's obvious that there's many engineering problems yet to be solved. He wanted to disrupt the high-speed rail industry by proposing that his idea will be faster and cheaper, again, than its competitors. As cool as his idea sounds, it will definitely not be cheaper, or of course not doable as well. The boring tunnel is a joke. I get what his demo was not the final product, but even if it worked like he originally proposed, it would still be terrible. The amount of people that can be transported by a subway is way higher than what the tunnel could ever do. His elevators into the tunnel create such a bottleneck that it would cause huge backups to get into the tunnels. When an actual expert in public transit planning called him out, Elon said, "You're an idiot." Well, I guess it takes one to know one. I could keep going on, but I'll stop here for now. With Elon's version of reality being highly skewed, he won't hesitate to throw out 6 months of work because it's not pretty enough or it's not badass enough. But in doing so, he doesn't change the schedule. Now, the Rothschild are a very wealthy family of financiers, and with this to be having the secret Illuminati conspiracy, we suspect that Elon might have gotten his lack of empathy and funding through the Rothschild. With the family achieving peak status at the 1800s, they're still behind most of the world's decisions, and this has factored in Elon's success. Is Elon's ideologies actually for the better? Or are these for a grander scheme for the worst? Let's put JP Morgan in the mix. It was widely known that during the Civil War, JP Morgan funded the war and bought 5,000 rifles for $3.50. He then sold this to the general in the field for $22 a pop. While he capitalized on the war, was this actually the start and growth for all these people? And was this the main reason for America's growth? Now, we know America as one of the most warmongering country in the world. Ever need some democracy? America got your back. So remember earlier when we talked about the Asmats going over to the South Africa? Well, JP Morgan has a hand in this, and with their dark history of owning and trading slaves, it is a main potential factor that this has fueled to be something bigger. It might seem as a mere coincidence, but who exactly is the grand mastermind behind all of this? Besides being the most ill-gotten bank, this may lead to a future with a strategic approach to capitalizing on every human they could profit on. With Elon Musk talking about longevity and him actually denying this, but is this the actual truth? Is the actual goal to expand and extend the lives of these ill-minded and abusive people? With all of these factors, do you think we're heading towards a great technologically, economically free world? Or is this just another rabbit hole? Are we just being fed sugar-coated truths that would potentially sour our lives? Thank you for watching. Comment down below and let us know what you think. And keep your mind open and consider all angles until we meet again.